Hello guys, in this video we will talk about how to calculate engineering leveling using HBC method. If we have here point A is a benchmark with known level 10 meter above sea level and point B is unknown. So the level was placed between them and we took reading on point A 2.4 meter and we took reading on point B 0.6 meter. To find the level of point B, we must first calculate the HBC level. This is the HBC line. The HBC is the height of collimation line in this setup. So I want to calculate the HBC level. The HBC equal point A level plus the reading on point A. This is the HBC. So the point A level is 10 meter and the reading on point A is 2.4 meter. So the HBC level is 12.4 meter. If we have here the mean sea level, the height of point A is 10 meter and the height of HBC is the height of point A and the vertical reading on this stuff. So it will be 12.4 meter. Since the surface is completely horizontal, all points on it have the same level. So this point have the same level of this point and this point. All points have the same level in this line because this line is completely horizontal. Therefore, the second step is to calculate the point B level. So the point B level equal HBC, this point, minus the reading on point B. So the second equation will be used that level of point B equal HBC minus the reading of point B. So the HBC equal 12.4 meter minus the reading on point B 0.6 meter. So the level of point B will be equal 11.8 meter. But if we want to calculate the levels for large numbers of points, then the calculation will be made in the following table. For example, if this is the direction of the leveling and point 1 is benchmark and this benchmark is 10 meter above sea level and we want to calculate the point levels. We want to calculate the level of point 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the solution is done in this table in 4 steps. The first step is to create the table and putting these readings on this table. Let's talk first about the table. The first column in this table for points. The next 3 columns are the type of readings at each point. We have 3 types of reading. So the first column will be back site. The second column will be intermediate site. The third column will be fore site. The fifth column is the HBC to calculate the HBC. The sixth column is reduced level or the level of our points. And the last one for remarks, if you have any remark. We have here 7 points. So this is point 1, point 2, point 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's start with point 1. The first reading in any setup, we call it in the last video back site. So the reading on point 1, we will put it in backside column, 2 meter. For point 2, it's intermediate. It's not the first reading or the last reading. So we will put it in intermediate column, 2.5. The third point is intermediate also. For point 4, we have 2 readings. The foresight of the first setup. This is the first setup. So this is the foresight of the first setup and the backside of the second setup. We will put 3 in foresight column and we will put 2 meter in backside column. To differentiate between the setups in the table, each setup will be determined in closed line like this. This is the line for setup 1. For point 5, it's intermediate site, so we will put it in intermediate site column. For point 6, we have 2 readings, the foresight of the second setup and the backside for the third setup. So we will put here 1.5 in the foresight column and 3 meter in the backside column. And to differentiate between the setups, we will determine it in closed line like this. 4.7, it's the last point in the setup 3, so the reading will be in the foresight column, 2.25, and I will determine this setup with this line. There are very important note that any table must be start with backsight and must be ended with foresight. This step was the first one. The second step is table check. Before we make the calculation, we must check our table by these two conditions. The first condition is number of backsight must be equal number of foresight. This is the first equation. And the second equation is number of points plus number of turning points must be equal to number of readings. Let's make a check on our example here. The number of backsight, we have 1, 2, 3 backsights. The number of foresight, we have 1, 2, 3 foresights. So the left hand side equal right hand side, so this check is okay. Number of point here, we have 7 points. Number of turning points, the turning point is any point have 2 readings, the foresight of the first setup and the backsight of the following setup. So this point 4 is turning point and also point 6 is turning point. So we have 2 turning points. Number of reading here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 readings. The left hand side equal right hand side, so it's okay. This is the second step, is the table check. It's very easy step. The third step is to perform calculations. The calculation will be performed according to these two equations. The first equation for calculating HBC and the second equation to calculating unknown levels. So to calculate the HBC for the first position, the first point was benchmark and this level was 10 meter. So the HBC according this equation equal the level of the first point plus the reading on it. So the first point here is 10 meter plus the reading on it is 2 meter. So the HBC will be 12 meter. And every level we put it in 2 brackets. We calculate here the HBC for the first setup. So if we want to calculate the level of point 2, it will be HBC minus reading on point 2. So HBC minus 2.5, 12 minus 2.5, it will be 9.5 meter. So here 9.5 meter. 12 minus 2.25 will be 9.75 meter. 12 minus 3 meter will be 9 meter. To calculate the level of 0.5, we can't use the HBC for this position because the HBC for the first position it's not equal the HBC for the second position. So calculate the 0.5 and 0.6 in the second position, we must calculate the HBC for the new position. So the HBC here will be 9 plus, using this equation, 9 plus 2 meter will equal 11 meter. 11 minus 0.5 will be 10.5. 11 minus 1.5, it will be 9.5 meter. 0.7 located in the third setup, and we can't use the HBC for the last setup because here the HBC in the third setup it's not equal the HBC in the second setup, so we must calculate the new HBC using this equation. HBC equal the level of this point plus the reading on it, so 9.5 plus 3 meter, it will be 12.5. 12.5 minus 2.25 meter, it will be 10.25 meter. So this is the third step or the calculation step. The fourth and the final step is calculation check, and we have two equations for that. The first equation is summation of back sight minus summation of 4 sides must be equal the last level minus the first level. The second equation is summation of intermediate site plus summation of 4 sites plus summation of levels except first one, except first level, must be equal summation of HBC in number of its uses. So summation of backside 2 plus 2 plus 3 7. This is summation row. Summation of the intermediate site 5.25. The summation of the 4 site 6.75. The summation of levels except the first level. The first level doesn't include it in the summation. The summation of levels except the first one is 9.5 plus 9.75 plus 9 plus 10.5 plus 9.5 plus 10.25 equal 58.5. Let's try in the first equation. Summation of backside is 7. Summation of 4 side is 6.75. The left hand side equal 0.25. The right hand side, the last level is 10.25. The first level is 10 meter. So equal 0.25. The two sides are equal, so this check is okay. The second check is summation of intermediate side is 5.25. Summation of 4 sides 6.75. Summation of levels except first level 58.5. This is equal to plus 5.25 plus 6.75 equal 70.5. 70.5 meter. This is the left hand side. The right hand side of the equation is summation of HBC in number of its uses. The first HBC is 12. We used this HBC to find the level of 0.2 and the level of 0.3 and the level of 0.4. So we use it 3 times. Plus the HBC of the second setup 11. We use it to find the new levels of 0.5 and 0.6. And summation of the last setup is 12.5 and we use it once. And to make it easy for you, the number of uses, it's equal to the number of reading minus 1. So the number of uses of this HBC is the number of readings 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 1, so it's 3. The number of uses for this HBC is the number of reading for this setup 1, 2, 3 minus 1 is 2. The number of uses for this HBC is the number of reading for this setup, it's 1, 2 minus 1 equal 1. So this equation should be 70.5. Let's try it. It's equal 70.5. So the right hand side equal the left hand side. So this check is okay. Therefore, we can solve any leveling in 4 steps. The first step is putting reading in table. The second step is the table check. The third step is calculation. And the fourth step is calculation check. In the next video, we will learn a different methods or forms for leveling questions, but all of them depends on the 4 steps we learned in this video.